There are many kinds of exploitation films. On this channel, I spend most of my time talking about the kind that exploit the audience's interest in jiggly bits. Sex sells, baby. But today I'm going to talk about something different. An exploitation film that tried to tap into the audience's interest in spree killers following the Starkweather murders in the late 1950s. And despite its lack of skin, I still think you'll enjoy it. It's cheap, it's dirty, and it's mean as hell. Welcome to Exploitation Reviews, and me, Rob, and today I'm taking a look at The Sadist from 1963, written and directed by James Landis. As far as I can tell, he's no relation to John Landis. But more significantly than the director, this film is the debut of legendary cinematographer Vilmos Zsigmond. I'll talk more about him later in the review. So let's see what kind of nastiness these filmmakers got up to. But before that, I will say that many of the movies I talk about tend to be on the obscure side. This one isn't. It's now a public domain film, and you can watch it right here on YouTube or the Internet Archive. In fact, the entire film is on Wikipedia. That's pretty cool. Anyway, on we go. We open on Sweet Baby Charlie. I thought I had put in The Sadist. Oh well, I'm too lazy to change it. Let's just watch this. A card tells us that 3 school teachers never made it to a baseball game, so I guess we're gonna see what happened to them. Generally, I don't really like it when movies kind of spoil the ending, but this card is vague enough, so it's not super spoilery. Maybe they just get lost.
Oh, sure.
But then again, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre also starts with a similar, spoilery text crawl, and I love that movie. So I guess it turns out that I can enjoy various openings.
What's wrong with that?
Anyway, here are our teachers. They've got some car trouble, but there doesn't seem to be anyone around to sell them a new fuel pump. We get some cool shots of our trio from behind wreckage and the like. One of these shots tells us that the phone is disconnected. While exploring the place looking for the owners, one of the teachers finds that the table still has food on it. What happened to these people? Well, this looks like part of the answer. Here is our sadist, or in this version of the film, Sweet Baby Charlie. He tells the teacher who's working on the car to continue working on the car because he plans to steal it and use it as a getaway vehicle. And man, look how freaky our sadist walks. Gives me the heebies. Things escalate a bit, and our sadist lays a little smackdown on the older teacher. And at first, he won't even let the others tend to his wounds, but eventually he gives in. He even lets the lady teacher go get some water, which is a pretty good opportunity for him to get a little handsy.
Your physical urges fight against your reason.
The mechanic teacher figures out who our sadist is. He remembered reading an article about some thrill killers down in Arizona who got away after killing a family for fun. Well, if you ask me, it's not too smart of this teacher to let it out that he knows who this guy is, but I can tell you as a teacher that generally speaking, teachers are pretty stupid. Well, even though I've said very little about the story, I don't want to get too spoilery since this one is a lot more fun if you don't know where it's going. We've got 3 teachers with car trouble in a junkyard. The owners of that junkyard are missing. A pair of sadistic killers want a fixed car to escape with. At some point, the police will show up, and that's all I'm going to say about that. Who will survive and what will be left of them? Well, that's enough out of me as far as plot goes. Let's talk some highlights. This thing is beautifully photographed. Like I said before, it was shot by Vilmos Zsigmond, who will go on to be one of the most significant cinematographers in Hollywood in the 70s and 80s. He shot Close Encounters of the Third Kind, Deliverance, Blowout, The Deer Hunter, and many more. The guy was a legend. And this is his first cinematography credit, on a feature film anyway. Just look at this guy's compositions. This shot is cool, this shot is cool, this shot is cool. This movie looks freaking cool. So even when the film drags a bit, and it does occasionally drag a bit, I mean, it's a very low-budget independent feature film, that's to be expected, it's always nice to look at. Some credit probably goes to the director, I imagine. I mean, he probably had something to say about the blocking. Blocking, by the way, if you're not hip to filmmaking lingo, is the way the characters are placed in the scene. So in a shot like this, for example, they're placed in a way so that we can see everyone. And aside from the look of the film, I also really liked Arch Hall Jr.'s performance. He really does unhinged madman very well. And I was going to make some joke about his really impressive unibrow, but I just couldn't bring it together. If I had a smart writing partner for this show, maybe we could have bounced a few ideas off of each other and then met in the middle. But this is a one-man show, and it's not exactly highbrow. Okay, let's move on. That's more than enough browbeating. Anyway, the sadist's girlfriend is also an unnerving character. Maybe even more so. She doesn't talk much, but she whispers cruel ideas into his ear from time to time, and he is perfectly happy to indulge her twisted desires for torture and humiliation. A match made in hell, these two. You know, not every movie takes complete advantage of what they have. This movie does, which is part of what makes it so impressive. It takes place in one location with 7 characters, a few of whom aren't in the movie much, and the story plays out more or less in real time. Pretty cool, ultra-low budget filmmaking right here. So low budget, in fact, that when they couldn't get their fake bullets to work, they shot real bullets at the actors. That's commitment right there. That being said, as much as I like this movie, it's not perfect. Like a sadist getting handsy with a teacher, it has some shortcomings. Well, you can tell from time to time that the script and the acting is a bit amateurish. It'll never be bad enough to take you out of the story completely, but it is noticeable from time to time. There are moments that just don't seem realistic, and that do seem pretty stupid. Luckily, these moments pass quickly and are easy to ignore. And I wasn't totally into the female teacher's performance. I can't quite put my finger on what it is, but she doesn't come across as natural or comfortable on the screen. And at one point, her character even hides behind chicken wire. That was pretty stupid. But then again, I guess she was portraying a teacher.